Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Talk Network channel. Specifically, welcome here today, this day. Sorry about that. Welcome this day to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I want to share, go to WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Again, it is WrestlingRadioAwards.com, as it's spelled, one word for the website. Also, I do have it on Twitter at WW_podcast. I have it on as a pinned tweet. I retweeted Showdown Network, adding Steve's Wrestling Ramble to the category of best show overall. Added to the category this afternoon after they found an error where it wasn't in there originally when they did the accumulative voting for the categories. So that also means not only are we up for Show of the Year, within Show of the Year, they're also going to determine through the voting what show will get Best Live Show and Best New Show. So technically, all those that you see part of the Best Show of the Year or for Show of the Year category are also technically, if you read before you start voting, reading is believing, knowledge is power, right? Anyways, that within that, that's how they'll individually, whether with algorithm and numbers and computer wise or manually as people there, will then select which show will be the winner of Best New Show and Best Live Show from there. So maybe they'll just simply 1, 2, 3. The number one, most votes, best show overall. 2, best new show. Then 3, best live show. Or depending on what the shows are, because they're all different types. 1, 2, and 3, whatever. No, number one overall gets the main category of best show. And then going down, which one is closest from number one? That is actually a live show. Truly live, not otherwise. And most of them are. But just point is just, going that way. So hopefully, you vote for Steve Wrestling Ramble. I would appreciate it if you do. If you do, let me know on Twitter or here on YouTube. However you feel like, let me know. If you have at least 2 minutes of time, it literally even takes 20 seconds of time if you really want to speed through it. I think there's 8 to 10 total categories. And for your vote to count for Steve's Wrestling Ramble on the best show category, you have to vote for all the other categories, the whole ballot. For everything to be considered fine and for all the votes to be counted and be corrected in that sense each and every gosh darn week. So follow me on Twitter at WW_podcast. Follow Showdown Network as well that does the Wrestling Radio Awards. I've been in contact with them for the past 2 years, being now a 2-time award nominated show here of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I actually literally did update that in the bio of my Twitter handle for those that care to read those when you follow people. If you actually read people's bios there, on mine it did change. Now a two-time show nominated, award nominated. So if you have 2 minutes to spare, 20 seconds to spare, a minute and a half, whatever, how quick or how long it takes for you to vote. For me, it literally took 10 seconds to vote each day. Last year for each of the categories. And you can do that daily up until the time they say, or I think it's January 28th. So not too much of a long stretch there, but still every single day to the 28th, which is to the Royal Rumble. That's Sunday. To the next Sunday, you can vote every day all week, and then the votes you get to watch the show live online at WrestlingRadioAwards.com on February 13th that evening to find out how Sports Talk Network, how Steve's Wrestling Ramble from the Sports Talk Network did. Now, if I wasn't hearing things, as I go back to my Google Hangout, because I was over at my live chat, I was watching live, thanks to those that are, I thought I heard someone enter the room, and as I see here, it is my co-host, buddy, otherwise Kyron Chase here with me this evening. And just to let everybody know, I hope to have Kyron, Mark, and Ronchi next week for Wrestling Ramble that will be predicting the 2018 edition of the Royal Rumble. So Kyron, if you're there, what are you doing?
Hey Steve, what's up? Glad I'm back. What's up with you? I'm back mainly because I don't have school tomorrow, and with it being 10 o'clock, I actually be on the show today. So I'm just ready to get going.
Good, good. That's good. You have off tomorrow. I have off for work tomorrow, so that's good for me. But yeah, I know. I don't know if you. Well, I'm sure you did see. We have a new member of our family here with the doggy Bella. That we got from the local humane society. So everybody support your local humane society, whether donation of $1 or otherwise, however you feel fit. In that way. Hashtag dogs are family. Hashtag all animals, all pets are family. Go take care. But anyways, no, Karen Chase. What do you get? Let's start with Monday Night Raw. Your thoughts on Monday Night Raw? It seemed like it was more like Braun is War, Braun Strowman's show, instead of the Truman Show, which was, by the way, a good movie. But Braun is War, the Braun Strowman show, whatever you want to talk. It was centered around Braun Strowman, which I liked because it kind of was a throwaway pay-per-view. Because I, like I'm sure other fans, were already just looking forward to Raw 25 and that awesomeness that is going to be on Monday, which I still plan to live stream. We'll see. But what are your thoughts on Braun, specifically with Braun Strowman and what they did with him that night?
Braun Strowman was the only thing that mattered as far as I was concerned on Raw. And he was the only thing I really can remember that happened because I was switching back and forth between Raw and the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors game. So I didn't really watch a lot of Raw, but whenever Braun Strowman came on the TV, I had my full focus on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. It made Braun even look better than he already was. I didn't think that could be possible. But the worst thing about it is I just don't see. I think they're going to put the title on him at the Royal Rumble, so this doesn't feel like it matters much. Other than that, the match at the end between Balor and Rollins was pretty good too. I was shocked to see the curb stomp come back. I never thought I would see that move again.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not much about Raw really interested me that much. Oh yeah, the Miz is the Elias segment, the Miz promo was pretty good too. But other than that stuff, nothing on Raw really interested me.
Now, did you have any issue with the fact that Braun Strowman gets fired at the beginning segment with Kurt Angle and gets rehired by Kurt Angle only an hour later? Were you upset at all or confused why they had to have that resolved so quickly and not, as I thought they should have done, is let it play out all the way to the end of the show to truly have it be the Braun show and ending with the final segment or the final moments of Raw of him being rehired or Stephanie a man? Oh no, Stephanie's here. Oh my gosh, sort of thing, like something like that if they wanted to, if she was actually there, and rehiring Braun and putting him back in the match and this and that. Do something like that. Do you have any issue with that, or that was all right with how they did that for Braun?
I actually did think about that when you talk. I was thinking back in my mind. Why done this last a little bit long after 1 hour? My problem with firing Braun, because obviously we knew he wasn't going to really be fired, is we saw Roman Reigns literally try to kill Braun Strowman at Great Balls of Fire when he crashed the ambulance and no real punishment came. But about that, honestly, I would agree. But at the same time, I think after he flipped the truck over, that was pretty much a climax. There was nothing that could top that. So really, that was the final climax of that. So they ended at the right time. That's what my Steve. Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Steve.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Like I said, new dog, getting acclimated here to the house. But anyways, yeah, I didn't have any issue, or I had a little bit of an issue with that with the Braun Strowman. I thought they should just have held out, kept it going all the way to the end of the show, and then rehired him, and then went from there and added back to the match. So it did surprise me, and I liked the fact that they started off the show with that, the shocking moment of Kurt Angle firing him, and then I'm like, oh, where's it gonna go? And as I said on Twitter, or actually Stephen A brought it up. He brought up about Braun going to SmackDown Live. I brought up about him surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, representing SmackDown Live, and winning it, and then to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania instead of having AJ Styles facing Shinsuke Nakamura. But all that, in the end, we're only 5 dreams for the WWE Universe. When 1 hour later, he's hired back on Raw, back to the title match. It was a triple threat with Brock Lesnar and Kane. So, other things going on with Monday Night Raw to really actually talk about. Paige and her situation, she did bring up about she's not going to be in part of the Royal Rumble match, but I guess that way still keep an option open if she's going to be able to come back wrestling. I think in the end that's just I give it a very low percentage. I think she's just trying to see if she can get second opinions from other doctors around the world, and then come back to WWE and see if they will clear her. Again, that didn't work with Daniel Bryan, but we'll see how it goes with Paige. Or she just wants to delay having to do a retirement speech or retiring from in-ring competition or that off as long as humanly possible. Like I thought the news broke, and it seems like all reputable sites were reporting about Paige and the injury that seemed to end her career. That she would be forced to, or would have said on Twitter before Monday Night Raw that she has been announcement to make, she'll be going to Raw, this and that, and pushing retiring from in-ring competition, but still staying with WWE and being a manager and still be with Absolution and being their mouthpiece. So I guess we'll just speak about Paige. Karen, what are your thoughts on the Paige situation, and do you think her career really is over?
Well, first off, I never want to see someone's career end, especially by injury. But I don't know, because while I've heard that, her career is going to be over, she can't wrestle anymore, she tweeted after the fact, I believe it was during Raw, after Raw, whatever, 2018 will be my year. She tweeted that. So is she really going to have to retire? I'm not sure. I think WWE might make her because, they've had lawsuits with concussions and things like that since I believe it was a head or neck injury. Just stay on the safe side, just like Daniel Bryan. They're going to make her retire and not let her wrestle. I hope she doesn't have to retire, but if it's best for her health, I feel like that's the best option.
Probably what's going to happen, and maybe the reason she hasn't officially retired yet is because she wants to get those second opinions and see if there is any chance, any shred of hope that she could maybe be WWE because other doctors have cleared her. Again, didn't work with Daniel Bryan. What makes us think it's going to work with Paige? But to each own, and obviously she still wants to stay an active competitor. Done this most of her life since she was 15. Born into the business, family and parents. Otherwise, so she does have to, and that probably will be happening here shortly, if not at WrestleMania after or whenever. She is either forced to or decides to retire from in-ring competition. Well, that should be pretty much it for Monday Night Raw, at least from what I wanted to bring up myself. My SmackDown Live, the show is centered around the United States Championship Tournament. In the two semifinals, we had Jinder Mahal defeating Xavier Woods, and we had Bobby Roode defeating Mojo Rawley. Now, if I wasn't mistaken, during the show, like actually literally during the show and during the first semifinal match, they were typing up about the finals being next week on SmackDown Live on the Go Home show. And I thought, okay, fine. I thought it was going to be waiting for happening at Royal Rumble, and they were promoted at the Go Home show, and this and that and whatever. But they're bringing it a week earlier. They're going to have it at the Go Home show. Then we have the two semifinal matches, the 6-man women's match, and this and that. Then we get to the main event, and we actually have the finals then. And that was surprising in its own way because I really thought that why have finals now and have a new United States champion and to not have their champion crowned either next week at the Go Home show or at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event anyways, where since you're going to, and since you're on the road to a big pay-per-view anyways like Royal Rumble, why not have a crowning of your, I dare say, main storyline being the United States Championship Tournament, even over the WWE Championship situation with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles, and I have that conclude at the Royal Rumble or whatever pay-per-view it would have been, even if it was like if this was building up to Fastlane or Battleground or whatever, TLC, whatever pay-per-view it was, not just because it was Royal Rumble, am I saying that it should have waited till Royal Rumble. Whatever pay-per-view this tournament happened, and heading into that said pay-per-view, you wait till you get to that said pay-per-view and you have the finals at that pay-per-view to crown a new champion. It just seems to me like basic booking strategy. But they had the finals then, and you had Rude get the win. Now, I did say on Twitter that I really did want Jinder Mahal to get the win. He's now a main eventer, former WWE champion. I enjoyed his reign, this and that. And I don't want him to go down the hierarchy or go down another rung on the WWE superstar hierarchy, from main eventer to mid-card to otherwise jobber. Not saying he's never going to go back down there, but I'm just saying he's now, I mean, man, as a former WWE champion, which we can say about Bray Wyatt, one-time WWE champion himself last year. But you have Rude get the win, him being the champion, and him being crowned the champion at this SmackDown live show and not the next or at the Royal Rumble. So that makes me think, is really anything makes me think. Makes you think maybe Ziggler is going to get involved. So he may show up next week. He may show up at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself. Maybe there will be a match announced at the Go Home Show SmackDown Live or in the morning. Breaking news on WWE.com and WWE Twitter handle from the live reports there, wherever they are, with the Go Home Show of from the offices of Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, Jinder Mahal, and Bobby Roode will face one-on-one for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble or something like that. Sam Ziggler getting involved after the match, not during or before. I'm not saying it's going to turn into a triple threat, but it's just the fact that makes my mind wander and think that way because they decided to move up the title or the title match, the finals of the tournament, to this week, just this past Tuesday, and not the next week or the Rumble. So I want to get your thoughts on SmackDown Live, the ending of the United States Championship title tournament, and what do you think, and why do you think WWE decided to kind of surprise us, and have the finals actually on Tuesday instead of waiting?
To be fair, honestly, I didn't care. I barely cared about anything they were doing. First off, none of the matches for the title in the tournament were good. Well, Tuesday anyway. Mahal didn't think it was that good. Rude versus Mojo Rawley, I didn't think it was that good. Mahal and Rude, I didn't think it was that good either. And then for the top of it off, I can't remember to say this, but I think the wrong guy won. And I don't like Jinder Mahal. He should have honestly won this match because I think you could have set up more story if he had won and have Rude chase the title. But then again, I don't like babyface Bobby Roode. It just doesn't. Where's the Bobby Roode from NXT, who you felt he didn't just scream glorious all the time. He actually went out there and proved why he was glorious. That's what I really want. I want heel Bobby Roode to come back. So I didn't really like the tournament in general. Then I barely paid attention to it. But none of the matches I thought were that good on SmackDown for the tournament.
Okay. What did you think of the women's match, your tag match there, or did you see that?
Steve, if I'll be honest, if I have to see one more 6-woman tag match, I'm probably gonna pull the little bit of hair I have out. I can't take seeing another 6-woman tag match. What was the point of that? I've seen it before, so I didn't watch that match. I didn't watch. I just saw the ending of it. And that's just how I had a problem with the women in general because the Raw doing the same thing. The same 3 women. I mean, same 6 women on Raw, same 6 women on SmackDown. I just want one match, please. But so I didn't watch. I didn't care.
I respect that. I thought it was interesting with having Liv Morgan getting the pin and getting the pin on Naomi. Then again, her getting the pin on any of them would be surprising just through the fact that even Morgan and Naomi, like you like to Flair being the superstars that they are. But you have to. But I don't see why they would do that. To build it up, give people a thought, maybe moment thought. That Liv Morgan might actually win this first ever Women's Royal Rumble, So, you gotta leave that as much time as you can and try to, in a way, build them all up in a sense of, oh, hey, it's any woman for the taking to take this. Each woman for themselves, 30 women over the top of everything being equal to the men, and that that I'm looking forward to, yes, but just like in the men's, usually, and I say usually loosely, there are like 6 to 8 that are you know true top contenders to win the Rumble each year. Different superstars each year, yes, but people's opinions differ, of course. But 6 to 8 different names from different people on social media and podcasts like ours here. And the same thing I'm sure will be the case, maybe less number, but for the women, who we realistically think, and not just who do we want to, like me and Carmella, but who do we realistically think and believe WWE is going to have win this first ever women's Royal Rumble? Now, for me, obviously, and as a fan of Carmella, would find that intriguing if Carmella won the Royal Rumble as still Miss Money in the Bank. How that can and the heat and the intrigue of you have Miss Money in the Bank first ever winning the first ever Royal Rumble, and you'll be heading to WrestleMania to face SmackDown Live Women's Champion at that point, and already having her backup plan being that briefcase there in case she loses, sort of thing. And that storyline, writes itself in its own mind if that was the case and if that happened. But beyond her, beyond Asuka, I would say Nia Jackson would have been Charlotte Flair if she was in the match, but she's a current champion. Um, but I guess I'll put Sasha Banks in there instead of Charlotte since Charlotte's not going to be in the match. As the front runners, for me, in my opinion, for the first ever women's Royal Rumble next Sunday. But yeah, I thought SmackDown Live was okay. I'm sure looking forward to next week's SmackDown Live, but I know that Kyron, or at least I would hope Kyron, is looking forward to Raw 25. 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw that technically was on January 11th, the official anniversary date for Monday Night Raw and the flagship show WWE. That did start 25 years ago from the January 11th date here in 2018. But all the names that have been announced for this celebration, this bash, that is the 25th anniversary show. You have The Undertaker, Austin. You have, I guess, MVP is going to be there. The coach is going to be there. The Bella Twins. Kelly, Beth Phoenix. But I really hope that we get a true surprise, and that being The Rock. I'd like to see The Rock make an appearance there, part of the Raw 25. With all these names announced already, Shawn Michaels and others, Ric Flair, and so on and so forth that I'm sure most already know. That would be there for the Raw 25 celebration, having actual true surprises. I won't mind that at all because it's always good to be surprised. And as wrestling fans, we don't get that so much of actually, truly, authentically being surprised by moments or returns or other things or this and that. So for a big celebration show, in a way, a surprise would be having The Rock be there. But then again, as I and others keep saying that as a surprise, then maybe he does show up. It's less of a surprise. We're all saying, oh, he should be there anyways. But I still would see it as a big surprise if that still did happen and we have The Rock at the Raw 25 show, as I think we should. Of all the other groups in the Attitude Era, which is great in its own right because the Attitude Era was the best era in WWE ever. And not only would The Rock be a surprise, another one that'd be a surprise that they wouldn't already promote, and that would be, and I'm just going to say it, would be Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan being a surprise and being there for the 25. And even more so, not only him being there, period, being the surprise of him being at part of the big party and awesomeness that will be the Raw 25, but having him in the Manhattan Center, in that location where JR and King are going to be doing commentary there, the site of the first Monday Night Raw show and where they were for Monday Night Raw for the first year or so, or otherwise. So I think that would be pretty cool in its own right. Have The Rock there, Hogan there, those two actually truly being surprises out of the many that have been announced, both men and women, to return for one night only. Otherwise, for the Raw 25 thing, I'm looking forward to it. And think about this: I have a good friend, and shout out to my friend Tyler, best buddies. And obviously we watched wrestling as kids, and we were those that shouldn't try this at home, but did try it at home. Now, I'm not saying we were extreme championship wrestling or backyard wrestling kind of people, no. But we did have matches and this and that. But we were actually safe about it, or tried our best to be. Point being is, we did that when we were younger, and he hasn't watched a full Monday Night Raw show since 2005, since we were in high school. And he's might be, hopefully he'll be able to, because he has his own family and kids, be able to watch the 25th anniversary with me, and for nostalgia reasons, other reasons, kind of go back to our early days, go back to when WWE was awesome with the Attitude Era, and awesome in all, well, all the superstars meant something, from main eventers to mid-carders to jobbers and otherwise, where they all were awesome. And even, yes, I know the women's division, in retrospect, sucked because they were undervalued, but they still were. I've seen some clips with the women's division back in the day, and they were used back then, and I didn't have a problem with that. I don't know about it. I'm glad it's come a wrong way, and now they're having their first ever women's Royal Rumble. But I'll just say be what it be with back then, and to be quite honest, a little part of me does miss that. But anyways, moving right along to Raw 25. What's your hype level, Kyron, for the 25th anniversary show? And who do you think would be the best true surprise to show up at the party?
To be fair, I'm actually more excited for Raw 25 than for the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble has just disappointed. Me, the last 4 years disappointed, and Raw 25, while special episodes of Raw usually hit and miss. For example, the last two big milestones, you had Raw, the 20th anniversary of Raw, which I thought was terrible because it didn't feel like a real anniversary special. Then you had Raw 1000, the 1000th episode of Raw, which I thought was amazing, which I love and still do this day. I could watch the opening video package over and over again. But my excitement levels are really high. You can ask Mark. I told him today in school, and I've been telling him for a while in school, that I'm more excited for Raw 25 than for the Rumble, and I still am. I hope it's good. I'm afraid they might destroy the Revival, which is everyone else has pointed out on Twitter, which means it's probably going to happen. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, you guys were talking about how The Rock. I don't think The Rock is going to be that surprising because I expect him. But like you said just a few minutes ago, Hogan I'd be more surprised to see because of everything that happened with him. So I'm very excited, and Hogan is the one I think would be the biggest surprise.
Now, do you have any issue with, and scheduling how it be, that they're having this Raw 25th anniversary show and celebration on the Go Home show of Raw? Like, this awesomeness that will be Raw 25. I'm not saying it's not going to be, but that overshadowing what's supposed to be a Go Home show heading into the Royal Rumble. And if you're going to have a Raw 25 celebration, that whole 3 hours, with all the superstars that you have announced and those that are still maybe surprises, we'll see, but the whole show should be surrounded around the celebration and the anniversary. And you have clips and montages of past moments and this and that, and maybe, turning to your top 100 list or however they want to do it. And it truly being just like a party, relaxing, no matches actually at all, really, but just, interactions with current and former superstars and this and that awesomeness in each division, women's division, tag division, main event division, otherwise, and so on and so forth. And yet, it's going to be on the Go Home show to an event that is the Royal Rumble, which, yes, can promote itself, or whatever. The point being is that they're having it then, and they will have at least one match, being the Roman Reigns Miz IC title match. So, do you have any issue with being on the Go Home show and not maybe last week or something, after the 11th, obviously, then after the date? They couldn't actually have it on that official date of the anniversary, but having it when they're going to have it.
Well, considering the fact that the anniversary isn't exactly on a Monday, I didn't expect it to be on the anniversary. While yes, you can say maybe an overshadow the Royal Rumble. You said it yourself, the Royal Rumble sells itself. We don't really need that. I guess I can definitely see. I think if let's say Raw 25 is amazing, like I'm hoping it is, and let's say SmackDown the next day is amazing too. Then we have TakeOver Philadelphia, which I'm pretty sure will be amazing. Then Royal Rumble. If we can get all 4 events to be great, then we would have a great Rumble week. And so I don't really have a problem with it being the go home for the Rumble. They'll probably bring up the Rumble a little bit, But my prediction is they won't even have a lot of wrestling on the show because if you remember Raw 1000, there really was not a lot of wrestling. There was only about 3 to 4 or 5 matches for a 3 hour show, and most matches were short, and most of it was just a lot of segments of a lot of legends, which was great. So I expect something like that again. We'll probably get some advancements of some storylines since even some SmackDown guys are going to be there. But this is going to be more about making moments and segments and having the legends.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree about that. The only other news here that I have for today's quick episode, don't worry, guys. Next week, well, at least we'll be going an hour long. We'll be talking about the Royal Rumble, predicting that, and otherwise having great guests and stuff like that. But here, final thing I wanted to bring up being the Roman Reigns situation with being linked, quote unquote, with steroids, and him coming out there saying that he doesn't even know this dude. It's up there. But what are your thoughts on this whole Roman Reigns use steroid situation?
You know me, Steve. I like look at the best of I like to try to find the best out of everyone before I consider the worst. I don't believe Roman had anything to do with this because no one. I'm not a blind hater. I don't even hate Roman Reigns to begin with. So no, I don't believe Roman had anything to do with this. I would hate if to find out he did, but I don't think Roman did anything. And besides, from what I heard, I didn't watch the video. I didn't care to. The guy himself actually was pronouncing Roman's name wrong and things like that. So I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't either. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. But that pretty much should do it. Like I said in the top of the show, welcome to vote for Steve's Wrestling Ramble, Wrestling Radio Awards.com, and that's WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Remember though, if you do vote daily, as long as you have 30 seconds to spare, or however long it does take something to do about, 30 seconds to spare each and every day, make sure to vote for all the categories in the ballot, part of the ballot, to make your vote count for Steve's Wrestling Ramble in our category that we are nominated in, and that's best show. So definitely welcome. People are welcome to do that as they record as well. Again, that's Wrestling Radio Awards account. You did tweet about that. It is a pinned tweet now at WWE_podcast. So just search or easily search for that. It'll be the top there being pinned, and go from there. And let me know if you have any issues in the voting process. I just wanted to throw out the comment if there's anything else, news, Raw, SmackDown, I missed, or anything that you did want to bring up here to the team before we say adieu. Like I said, everybody thought this was a short episode, but next week, or we will be here for at least an hour, maybe even 3. But anyways, is there any new notes or stuff that you want to bring to the table before we bid adieu?
Oh, but I did want to ask you a question, Steve.
All right, Count Chase, you're welcome to ask. Go ahead.
Why have you been sending the links later at night around 10 o'clock? Well, for where I am, because usually send them around 8 o'clock. So, but with them being at 10, me and Mark just don't have the time to be on. I just want to know why were you sending them a little bit later than usual?
I know that's fair to ask. Hey, no question is an unfair question, but to answer your question, why I've been doing it late, because I've been watching my shows on TV, CBS lineup, Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, Mom, Life in Pieces. They're from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Times. Then I go on to do the podcast here tonight. Now, next week, even though the shows are still continuing, I will start the show at 7 o'clock to make sure that everybody's able to join. You, Raunchy, and Mark are able to be part of it if you are still able to be part of it next week. So next week, as the start of the show that'll be with the Royal Rumble prediction episode for the 8th edition, I will start the show at 7. But moving forward until the season's end for the shows on the Thursday lineup on CBS, I will move my show till 9 o'clock Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, for that. And I know that's unfortunate for myself by doing that. You guys might not be able to make it as often or at all until summertime. And even then, maybe not. But then the shows. Your point is, that's why I did it to my shows. But depending on how these seasons go or this and that, I can obviously being a YouTube podcast can always move it back. But definitely will be moved back next week. And so I was also going to say to everybody out there, next week. It will on the regular scheduled time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 8 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Central Time for that episode. That's why I've been moving it late. That's why I've been sending the link late to everybody. Because obviously I wouldn't send a link after a show is over. That would just be dumb. I do it before a show starts, and that's why, because the show has been starting later with me enjoying my programming that I do enjoy, especially Big Bang Theory. Like, that show is my jam number one, along with Modern Family on ABC, but Big Bang Theory being awesome. But and then the other shows as well that have enjoyed more and more shows. I've watched them again, Young Sheldon, Modern Life Pieces, but yeah, that's why it's been later in that sense. But don't worry, Kyron, next week it will be the regular scheduled time. I probably will send the link 30 minutes early or an hour early or whatever, so people can get in and set it, get a seat and be able to whatever. And then we'll start it at 7. So yeah, that's long-winded way to answer that, but yeah, that's why it's been later. But yeah, it's hopefully to be able to make sure that the show is able to better, and I do hope to be able to with these YouTube changes and everything. With I know I shared that on Twitter about the changes with YouTube and the partnership program and everything. To get up to 1K views, or not views, 1K subscribers, and this and that by the 20th of February to continue. And then afterwards, at any point, if you get 1K, then revisit your channel to get monetization and otherwise. So I'm trying, to pump the get more videos, be more on point, this and that. And I think maybe going back to my regular schedule time will be one of the things I could do and should do. Beyond getting my battle buddy here now, the Blue, my snowball microphone, other things to improve the quality of the show, and to make it better, make it something. The fact that I've been, and the fact that this show, Steve Jurassic Ramble, has been nominated the past 2 years for the Wrestling Radio Awards, I think has been big. But now we have to go even above that. Like, that's great. That's cool. Very cute and awesome. But at some point, you got to get over that to be recognized by your peers, as I say, peers in the business. The other podcasts, whether they're on national radio or otherwise, or whatever, they're form of media, they, promote their podcasts as well. Because I went through the whole list of all the podcasts otherwise that are part of in that category of best show, and having Steve Wrestling Ramble part of that while they're scrolling through, or their family members or otherwise are scrolling through and looking at while they're voting for their own show and otherwise themselves. It's all about marketing. It's all about networking. That's the main word I was looking for. Networking with other podcasts. I already have interacted with people over that. I had a couple other shows last year before this one, during it, Wrestling Radio Awards. Getting some advice from some of them, award winners and otherwise. So, the networking certainly helps as well. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching this episode. Next week, I will be here for at the very least an hour, maybe 3, with the 2018 edition of the Royal Rumble prediction episode. Hopefully, the whole team is able to join me. Cameron Chase, Mark Rambo, and Ron T. Mikey, all of us together again for the Rumble prediction show, and hopefully we're as well. We'll see if he's able to join. Josh, Ultra Central, Bounty's Corner, the usual gang of cool dudes, and Jamie. We may actually have a female person, have a female on the show for once, get a female's perspective, and why not? And that would be actually talk about timing, talk about being lucky, talk about this and that. We're predicting the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, right? So we're predicting, and one of the matches will be the first ever women's Royal Rumble. It would be nice to have a women's perspective on and predicting of the women's Rumble, and we can ask her also her thoughts on the women's evolution, this and that, as well if she wishes to, if she is able to. She said she'll try. So hopefully Jamie is going to be our woman representative during the Rumble prediction show as we go along for that episode. But thanks to Kyron being here. I'll let him plug his channel and where you can find him on the internet.
First off, if we want to get a women's perspective, we can get our good friend Katrina the Good to be on the show. Um, secondly,
Oh, don't
um,
worry. She said she might be able to join too, so we could have two of them.
anyway, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling, My Little Pony, Friendship Magic, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Follow me on Twitter, SplashBro Kyron, Instagram, SplashBro _Kyron, Tumblr, and DeviantArt Kyron Chase. And back over to you, Steve.
All right, thanks, man. Oh, and speaking of My Little Pony, um, yeah, I can do without seeing all those videos on YouTube. I don't know if you ran into that issue with leaks from season 8, and like, no, I don't need to see that stuff. And I didn't click on any of them, but I know I did see them pop up recently more and more. So I'm just giving you a word of warning. Tread lightly if you're searching My Little Pony on YouTube for anything. Um, but just wanted that bit of news here on the Ramble. But I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow with my two videos that I usually do on Fridays. My Riverdale review day, my review and series review of Riverdale on the CW, and also my review of the show that I was talking about earlier, Life in Pieces, from CBS. Last week I did an extra video talking about Mom, that TV show. And as I do weekly, I will be talking about Life in Pieces. In March, the return of my Scream, MTV Scream, does return. I will be doing reviews of that. So that episodic series on this channel will be returning. But 2018, or at least these seasons of the shows that I am doing weekly reviews, might actually end after that. You know, this is the Sports Talk Network, and I do enjoy talking about those shows because I like those shows. I wouldn't be doing videos if I didn't like that kind of stuff. But being Sports Talk Network, wanting to build my brand, be a better YouTuber, and with content as well, should be surrounded and with the pillar being my podcast talking NFL, my talking package with Steve, and here Steve's Wrestling Ramble. So that may be ending doing all those. Stream, yes, here in 2018. I will continue to do that at least for the new cast and see how this new look Scream show is on MTV. But beyond that, I might be done with doing TV show weekly reviews. Now, I also going to try to do more on my other channel, Animated Awesomeness, talking about Star versus the Force of Evil, and also My Little Pony Friendship is Magic over there. But over here at Sports Talk Network, I want to, maybe it might not be till 2019 when I officially start doing this, but we'll be focusing 100% on sports for the breaking news or the podcast and just simply otherwise there. So A, I don't get burned out, but also B, that I actually am the channel that I am marketing, promoting it to be, Sports Talk Network. So again, it's not that I don't enjoy doing the reviews, and I will keep doing it here with the seasons that are still continuing with the shows that I do reviews for. But after that, it may be put, maybe Dunzo, Elfine, and then we would move on from there. But anyways, everybody, take care, enjoy your week, enjoy your days. And above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.